Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Secretary Dan Zimmerman from the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs, and we're here today to present grants totaling $400,000 to nonprofit organizations that will help veterans become successful business owners. Now, veterans through their military service already have many of the essential skills and other intangibles that make a good business owner. By partnering with these nonprofits so they can provide veterans the training and education they need to become entrepreneurs, will not only help that individual veteran, but will also be creating jobs and improving the employment situation here in our state. Now, I've been on the job now for less than 2 months, but what was evident to me from day one is that Wisconsin is a leader among states in providing programs, benefits, and services to our veterans. And leading that charge is Governor Scott Walker. In my first meeting with the governor, he said he wanted to see no veteran out of work. And these grants will help in that regard. Please join me in welcoming Governor Scott Walker.
Well, thanks, and thank you, Secretary Zimmerman. It's nice to be able to say that. Dan, we appreciate your leadership in stepping up and the great team at the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs, and to your team, to the Veterans Board, of which several are here today. We appreciate that, and to all of you here who are going to get grants in just a moment, we appreciate your willingness. It's actually perfect to do it in this room, not just because it's our conference room, but you think of in front of Lady Liberty and thinking about the images there of veterans, service members returning from the Civil War, and thinking about the need to care for our veterans. And one of the key ways to do that sometimes in the past has been a little bit overlooked is exactly as the Secretary mentioned, and that is ensuring that every veteran of any era, but particularly those men and women who are returning home after recent deployment, has access to full employment, and in this case, not just employment, but the opportunity to start their own business, to start their own opportunity going forward. We were pleased. This has been a focus for us across different aspects of state government, not only in the Department of Veterans Affairs, but also when looking at Department of Military Affairs, the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development. It's really been a combined effort, and it's one of the benefits of having this cabinet level position, or this secretary position in the cabinet with all the other state agencies, because we made this a focal point for some time. We said it at the state address several years ago, the focus of wanting to make sure that every veteran, particularly those, again, returning home of late. I had the chance yet again in December, right around the holidays, to go overseas and to see men and women from Wisconsin deployed. They be in the Guard with some of our units, a couple of the units from the Reserve that are deployed, and a number of others the Department of Defense helped us identify who were on active duty in places like Kuwait and the UAE and Afghanistan and Germany. And then we, right between Christmas and New Year's, actually went to, of all places, Guantanamo Bay, where we have about 120 plus MPs from the 32nd unit here in the state of Wisconsin as well. And one of the things that's interesting is hearing the stories, not only about their deployment and oftentimes family and loved ones, but hearing what their hopes and aspirations are, whether it's returning home to a position that they've left, particularly for those in the Guard and the Reserve, whether it's others, many cases in particular with active duty, looking to come back and look for employment at the end of their deployment, which is the end of their time, their commitment to service. And for many in all three components, Guard, Reserve, and active duty, thinking about the opportunities to start out on their own. And that's really what's exciting today. And it's a tremendous opportunity, as the Secretary mentions, Dan mentioned. Our veterans are people who are well-trained, well-prepared, well-educated, focused, disciplined, have all the kinds of skills that we want, not only as an employee, but as an employer going forward, a deep love and devotion for both their country and in turn their state and their local community. And thanks to fully restoring the GI Bill a few years ago, even have the opportunity to continue without cost to the veteran to be redeployed, if you will, into a different arena, into higher education without cost to our veterans going forward. And so today is just one more step to help with that. About a year ago, we were pleased that at that time, unemployment for our veterans was about 3.5%. Which is well below where the nation was and well below where the state was as a whole. Although these numbers are starting to catch up at the statewide level, which is good. We're below 4% as of January. We're hoping for yet more good news this week. But we want to continue, as part of that, as the overall unemployment rate goes down in the state. We want to continue to see the unemployment rate for our veterans go even further down, and knowing that, to me, statistically, while economists will tell you between 3 and 4% itching towards full employment, I want to have actual full employment, meaning there shouldn't be a person wanting who served our country who wants not just a job but a career. And as part of today's awards, we're acknowledging not just that, but acknowledging that our veterans themselves can be part of making that happen by being entrepreneurs, new small business owners who can help not only themselves but then help others create those jobs and those opportunities. So today, in a moment, we'll be handing out some $400,000 specifically targeted towards helping veterans start up their own businesses and opportunities. It's a nice array of different entities that are receiving these grants, from Bunker Labs, who's been a longtime partner of late, the last few years, and been thrilled to be a part of their programs before and seeing the excitement, enthusiasm, and the good work there. To 2 pilots, starting out at 2 of our institutions of higher education, one at Fox Valley Technical College, one at the University of Wisconsin. Thinking about legal action in Wisconsin, helping us out, with a lot of times for anybody, let alone a veteran, going in to looking at the prospect of starting up their own business. Sometimes there's a little bit of trepidation, well, not sometimes, always. There's a bit of trepidation of wondering about all the paperwork and legalities and things of that nature. And so having a grant there to help and be a partner in that regard. And then 2 other unique entities, one here nearby in Middleton and one over in Waukesha, with Michael Angelo's workshop and with Project Echelon, thinking about 2 other opportunities with unique aspects of taking art and athleticism, and in each component tying that into unleashing the power and innovation of our veterans in a way that's creative and exciting and dynamic going forward to help them and to help others. So we're really excited about the grants today. It fits in with the larger process that we have, again, not only at the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs, but through a number of our state agencies working together to ensure full employment, or as close as we can get, and to ensure as many great opportunities for our veterans as possible, both those who've served many years ago, as well as many of those just returning back home. So with that, I'll turn it back over to the Secretary, and we'll make the grants. We'll call you up.
Sir, thank you. Now, 3 members, actually two board members, the Board of Veterans Affairs, 2 of our board members there were tasked with reviewing the grant applications and coming up with the recommendations for the award recipients. We had past board chairman John Gadke and current chairman Larry Kutzma, and Larry is here today. And Larry, if you would come forward, he's going to assist with the handing out of the awards. He's going to represent the board. And as I call out your name of your group, please step forward and accept your award. So we have Michael Ertmer from Bunker Labs. Now, Bunker Labs' submission is to provide training to veteran entrepreneurs through the Innovator Academy, which helps an entrepreneur develop the talents and skills required to start and grow their businesses. That's Bunker Labs.
I'm also good at branding.
Yeah. And we have, next we have Amy Peach, William Trombley, and Diane Mann of Fox Valley Technical College Foundation. And their focus is to commence a pilot project, eSeed Entrepreneurial Training, Veterans Edition, called Envoy. The pilot will help 10 veterans start and expand their own businesses. Fox Valley Tech. David Pfeiffer of Legal Action of Wisconsin. Their focus is to provide business, technical, and employment legal services such as reviewing contracts to veteran entrepreneurs in southern Wisconsin. Legal Action of Wisconsin. Next we have Donald Tubsing, Nancy Loving Tubsing, and Helen Forster of Michelangelo's Workshop. And their focus is to teach unemployed and underemployed veterans the artistic skills, carving processes, and business strategies necessary for ownership or employment in the stone sculpting business. Michelangelo's Workshop. Next we have Eric Hill and Terry Newolny of Project Echelon. Their focus is to help veterans apply their skills and leadership qualities in the workplace or take steps towards entrepreneurship, engaging in their journey of healing in order to regroup, recover, and engage through physical activity and self-discovery. Project Echelon. Project Echelon. Now last we have Charles Allen and Karen Calendo of UW-Milwaukee Veterans Upward Bound. Their focus is to implement a pilot veteran entrepreneur readiness and support program that will provide business skills, assessment, educational workshops, instructional support services, field experience, and business mentoring.
It's like I hope the Badgers are wearing these hats. Oh, yes.
All right. UW-Milwaukee Veterans Upward Bound. All right. I'd like to again thank Governor Walker and all our honored guests for being here today. And finally, on behalf of the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs, I'd like to thank all of the veterans and their families who come together to serve here today. This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.